we are back again mga ka-Mrs. G, and medyo mahina yung manok natin ngayon. Damay-damay. Even PSE index is crawling. Lockdown effect or crypto effect. Anyway, so we will look at the financial report of Mrs. G for the first quarter. But before that, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if this video have value to you. Also, please hit the bell button for other video updates and notifications. Alright, so let's get started. Okay. Mrs. G already released its first quarter financial report. And yeah, somehow it's disappointing. I was not expecting that huge loss, but yeah, let's take a look. Okay. In this video, we'll look at the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow. For a quick glance, Mrs. G has a net loss of 126,472,803. This is way far from last year's net income same period. When lockdown started last March of last year, Mrs. G is having a hard time to have a positive net income. Three sources of income of Mrs. G are its sales, rentals, and other income, while its expenses and charges are cost of sales, operating expenses, finance costs, and taxes. The costs and expenses are just somehow a reflection of its sales and income. Something should break this mirror effect. The cost is just a reflection of income. Last quarter of last year, both food retail and general merchandise increased. This is because of Christmas season. And now it decreases back again. We can also observe that whenever there is a lockdown, it is the food retail sales that is strong. But this is not enough to break the mirror effect of the cost and the sales. For the geographical market sales, great share of its sales come from Visayas. Sales of 2021 first quarter is almost the same when we have a strong lockdown last year, Q2 of 2020. What I believe that will break the mirror effect of the costs and its income sales is the revenue coming from the rentals. If we will compare the rental income between the pandemic times and non-pandemic, we can see a big difference. It is almost half was lost. This will take some time to recover, but yeah, I'll try to bodega slowly and slowly. Another thing that I like is the other income. It is now simple, no insurance claims, no provisions. It is simple and straightforward. These listed items under other income is the same before one of its stores in Cebu caught a fire. We will see Mrs. G how it really performs. Therefore, this is really a reset for Mrs. G. Next item that we will look at is the balance sheet. Current ratio now is a little bit higher compared to the previous quarters. The increase of its current ratio is caused by the drop of its liabilities. This is the decrease in trade and other payables. Trade payables are obligations to pay for goods or services that have been acquired from suppliers. kumonte yung orders ni Mrs. G. Now looking at the current assets, it is the merchandise inventories that has a greater portion. Then part of its equity is the retained earnings and treasury stock. Retained earnings of Mrs. G is going down, so basically money is coming out from the pocket of Mrs. G. This is also visible in Mrs. G cash flow, which we'll talk about later. Then we have this treasury stock or the buyback shares. So I'm now wondering if they will really have to go for dividends or just continue buying more. I'm also okay with this, with the buyback, especially if they will buy it at a higher price in comparison to the current price now. The only limiting factor of the buyback is the public ownership percentage. Now let's take a look at the cash flow of Mrs. G. As we can see, its net cash flow is always in the negative territory, meaning it's giving out cash from its own pocket. It was only last quarter of last year that it was able to recover. And we know it was Christmas season and some COVID measures were lightened up. For the first quarter of 2021, it is the cash flow from operating activities where most of the cash of Mrs. G was allocated specifically on trade and other payables.